to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hello, Mountaineers. I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley, and this is the WolfMan's call for the Texas Tech WVU football review. Brought to you by our great friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. And Artisan Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just a dip. Do it the AGC way. No tobacco, no nicotine. Artisan Grange Company, hemp. Texas Tech Red Raiders. Boy, they sure did take it to our beloved Mountaineers. They sure did take it to them in Lubbock, Texas. They sure did take them offensively, defensively. Just basically another ambush on the road in the Big 12. It's something, man. I don't know. There's just a disconnect about this team. Last week they played against Baylor. And they win. And they could have given up at any time. People telling me, tweeting me, hey, Wolf, the team's giving up on the coaching staff, Neil Brown. No, they haven't. If they wanted to give up, they would have given up last week. The Thursday night against the Baylor Bears. They had every opportunity to numerous times. But they never gave up. They're not giving up on their coach. I think they're licking their wounds right now. I think they're confused. I think they feel, a tension of what's happening here, trying to figure it out. I think we all are. I think Neil Brown is at the coaching staff saying, what are we doing? Again, Thursday night, 9 days ago, we played like this. And then Saturday, come out against Texas Tech Red Raiders, and we don't look like the same team. A Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde persona, if you will, which obviously is not acceptable. And watching the film, it's like, man, we did some things that just were not normal for Mountaineers. We did some silly things, lining up wrong. Yeah, I told you last week in the pregame, I showed you film in the pregame. Go back to it. I showed you film. 4th and 1. What are they going to do? They're going to go, hurry. And they're going to line up in a shotgun, and they're going to send 2 guys to the left, run a screen pass. 4th and 1. You're going to have one guy blocking for Texas Tech. You're going to have one WVU guy over there to defend. Well, you got another guy who's going to actually catch the ball for the screen and run. Now, the second WVU guy was late getting over. And that happened numerous times. The Mountaineers got outnumbered. But see, that's what Texas Tech does. They hurry so they can misalign you, outnumber you. That's what they do. So you had to know it was coming. Now, when you're going against a scout team, that is West Virginia defensively going against the scout team acting like they're Texas Tech, they don't know how to go the real speed. They don't know how to do 150 or 103, 105 plays in a game time. They don't know how to do that. So you really weren't getting it. So after the first 2 series of the Mountaineers, when they scored early, I wasn't surprised by that. I wasn't surprised because you got to get used to it because it's hard to assimilate in practice. But they never got used to it. They gave up 590 yards. Now, maybe it was a little warm down there. I don't know. I'm not here for excuses. I'm here to lay down the facts. And the facts are that the Mountaineers, when they go on the road in the Big 12, are not performing the way they should, as opposed to being at home against Baylor. Now, you could say, well, Baylor put up 590 yards, Wolf, against the defense last week, 421 through the air, scored 40 points. Yeah, they did. But we talked about this. We said, you're going to have to be aware. Just go back again, watch my pregame video. You could have watched my pregame video, and I could have told you exactly what they were going to do. I could have told you exactly how they were going to do it. Almost. There's some new tweaks in there. They went quads, which they actually had gone quads before, but just with the running back going in motion to the quads. So there had been quads before, but it's still different. It's quads. Okay, you could have a bunch, but they're still the same formation. You still got one guy in the line, two guys as wing, and then quads, they put a guy right behind. There's no difference in how I would defend that as opposed to the trio or the four, but I would bring another guy over for quads, or at least I would split the difference. Look at that, because you got one guy over there on the other side, and then you got a quarterback. I mean, well, no, I mean, I got people saying, "Oh, you can't defend." Like, oh, yeah, flip on the Kansas State game, flip on the Texas game, and what they do is they actually put a guy at the point of attack, and they ride that dude so he doesn't have a free release. See, that's what I think the problem is here that I'm having, is that everybody has a free release. There's no route readjustment. There's no hands-on. Okay, there's no route. And if there is, it's a futile attack. It's like, here's a reroute. Now, then you gotta hit somebody, especially when you get in that quad over there. You gotta hit somebody. You gotta reroute. You gotta get that quarterback and that receiver off their rhythm routes. And that's not exactly the answer for everything, because you can't reroute everybody all the time. But if you can do some, you can affect the overall. Getting sacks. And then Morton, he's a redshirt freshman, man. We had one sack. They only had one sack too, but they scored 48 points and we scored 10. So I'm not going to look at them as harshly as I'm going to at West Virginia. But we didn't get them out of rhythm. They were catching balls left and right. I mean, honestly, how many times was there a missed tackle? Honestly, how many times did you look when West Virginia caught a ball with the missed tackles in Texas Tech side? Now, flip that. How many missed tackles when Texas Tech caught a ball on the other side? It was bad. It was bad. And I said beforehand in Mountaineer Legends pregame, I said, this is the game where everybody has to play complementary football. I mean, the offense has to play complementary to the defense complementary to the offense and special teams. And they all had to work together. This was the game. And then, obviously there wasn't any of that. And I was like, where are we? What are we doing? People say, Wolf, you came out hard. You said there's a numbers problem here. Houston, we have a problem. There's a numbers problem. Yeah. You know what? I put in over 2 decades professionally to this organization, this WVU, this university. I've bled. I've cried. I've been everywhere on this. Over 2 decades. If we're not getting lined up right, I'm going to call it out. I mean, isn't that what we're here for, is to hold everybody accountable? Is that not what it is? You're not lined up right. Get over there. You're not tackling right. Break down. Don't come in out of control. Come in control so you can make that tackle. I could show you film, play after play after play. I mean, you saw it. You don't need me. You don't need me. Offensively speaking, I mean, I don't know. Where's the grit? Where's the grit? I didn't see any grit. I didn't see any grit. I saw some guys get hurt. Others came in, and it's like, whoa, woe's us. I saw a lot of woe's us. I saw a lot of standing around. When I see standing around and woe's us, I always go back to it's a confusing state. Confusing. Because you're not sure what to do, because football is all based on speed and power and knowing where you're going. Offensively, you know where you have to go to execute your play. Defensively, you have to react instinctively, hoping that you prepared, that you recognize certain situations, whether it be an individual fundamental, whether it be a scheme, whether it be an alignment, whatever it may be. Hopefully, you've prepared and to see it. And if you have it, hopefully you call a timeout if it's something big. If you have personally not seen a quads alignment and you're not sure what to do, call a timeout. Call a timeout, because getting gashed for a 59-yard touchdown is not the answer that you want. It's not the answer I want. I love this team. I love this university. I bleed for this university. Over and over I have. This is not about me. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to start saying exactly what needs to be said. We have to be accountable. Starts with the head coach, Neil Brown, and it goes through his coaching staff. It starts with Shane Lyons, Gordon Gee, president, AD. Are we all doing what we need to do to be successful? Are we all doing? Am I doing what I need to do to be successful for this university? In my side view that I have here, the side gig of reviewing. Am I doing what I need to do? Because I still talk. I have a whole network. I was the alumni guy here for 15 years. I have a whole network of Mountaineer brothers. And they're all asking me, what's going on? What's happening? I said, they're not playing well. Not playing well, at least on the road. I really thought they played well against Pitt. Thought they played well against Virginia Tech on the road. But Texas and Texas Tech, whoa. Not the same team. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And that should not be, because the coaching staff, Neil Brown is not. He is not a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type guy. He is who he is, through and through. And the man knows how to coach. So before we get to anything else, I spent a lot of time for 3 years with Neil Brown. I spent a lot of time. The man knows his football. The man has led a team before. The man knows how to coach. And he knows how to run a coaching staff. He knows how to recruit. He knows what all the aspects are of a coach. And he embraces them all as a head coach should. But right now, Neil Brown is not getting it done for whatever the reasons may be. Whatever the reasons, this coaching staff is not getting it done. For whatever reasons may be, the players are not getting it done. And that is really concerning. Where do you go from here? You still have a chance to turn things around. You still have a chance to win this week. GCU, hey, I know. It's homecoming. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. This Mountaineer team can rise up just like they did against Baylor, just like they did against Virginia Tech. Yeah, I'm not going to count Townsend because that's nothing. But they can do it. And it's been done before, and it's not crazy as some here may think it may be. It is not crazy. They can get up and they can win. But they need to come together, man, and not worry about what I say, not worry about what I tweet. I mean, why would they? I'm not their paycheck. I am a Mountaineer fan, but life will go on without me. The WVU will always go on without me. So, what do they have to do? Well, they have to look at each other. Nothing changes until you look at yourself first. Let me say that again. Nothing changes until you look at yourself first. Think about it. We need these guys on the team. And I don't care if it's the starters. I don't care if it's second team, all the way down to the scout team guys, because they're affecting everything. Everything is affected. How much effort is the scout team giving? How much effort is the second team doing? First team. What's the division, if any? What's the missing gap? What's the missing link? Because something's missing on Saturday. I don't know what it was. Something's missing. Aubrey Burks came out and said, hey, maybe we're not doing that film study. Well, if you're not, Aubrey, I'll tell you what, you're something very, very intelligent young man. Very intelligent. And you conduct yourself very well, and you're going to be one good football player. I see it. You've already got sparks in you, man, and I know how youthful you are, and you have a lot of talent. But what do you have to do, man, to go ahead and jump in there in that secondary and get the guys together on the same page? You talked about miscommunication, not being on the same page. Maybe not spend enough time in the film room. Maybe, just not communicating. Well, you look at that and you say, okay, how do I get better at that? How do we get better as a group collectively? Coach, what do you think? What can we do? Here, all right, look at us over here. Now we're going to look at you over there. And we're all looking at each other. What can we do collectively to get better? Because you can. Because you can. And that's what I'm making my stand on this. Everybody can get better in this team. You've proven you can win some games. You've proven you can come out and play well. You've proven you can execute. You've proven that. But you haven't proven it all the time. Not very any close. Not all the time. I can point to some plays that I saw missed tackles, say defensively, missed tackles. I saw plays where a guy could have tackled a receiver on the 3-yard line, 2.5. But he just bumped him in the shoulders because it was a 59-yard touchdown. Now, this is a transfer coming in who doesn't know the Mountaineer way, doesn't understand what Mountaineer football is. We don't sit there and allow guys in the 2.5-yard line to just walk into the end zone, even if it's a last-second effort and he's already there. Even if we're still going to attempt to make a tackle to bring him down. The transfer is coming in here. You better learn Mountaineer football. Because if you don't, you won't be here very long. Mountaineer football is about doing what? Blue collar, man. It's about blue collar. If you're not blue collar, you better get out. And that's what I want to see from this team. I don't care if you get dropped by 40. If you're blue collar out there and you're working your can off, then that's fine. But when I see dudes coming in, maybe not spending enough time in the film room, maybe not doing what they should be on the field, or not tackling a guy at the 2.5-yard line, makes me want to throw up. Disgusted. Because you know why? I could get beat. And I have gotten beat. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to fight you every single step of the way of me getting beat, of me going down the field. I'm going to fight you every single way. Because I'm a Mountaineer. That's what Don Nalen, Mike Jacobs. Hell, that's what my dad taught me. Growing up. That you fight and you give your best effort. Not only for yourself, but for your teammates, your loved ones, your university, your state, Mountaineer Nation. You do it. You do it for all. It's not about you. You represent the WV. There's a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of men who have built that WV up. A lot greater than I have. Don't do tackle guys at 2.5-yard line. Disgusted. It's never been the Mountaineer way. Never been. I've been around since 1981. 1981. We're out watching this program, participating in this program. And that was what's going to happen here, the transfer portal, NIL, all that stuff. Guess what? Fine. I love the NIL. Country Roads Trust, right? Right there. Yeah, I love what they're doing. Love guys getting paid. Love it. Totally agree with it. But I also agree that now you're a professional because you're accepting money. You are now a professional. So when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, I'm going to hold you accountable. When you come in out of control and your arms are flailing and your legs are flailing, and some dude takes it and does a sidestep and jukes, and he goes for 30 more yards for a touchdown because you missed your tackle, because you're out of control. You're not using any fundamentals. You're not doing whatever you're supposed to be doing to stop that man and make that tackle. I want to call you out. Well, needless to say, defensively, offensively, I'm not going to show any film because I don't know what highlight there was. I think I looked at highlights for ESPN or Fox Sports 1, whatever it was. There's not one highlight that I saw for WVU. There's not one highlight I saw for WVU. You know what highlight I did see? I saw the Morton, the redshirt freshman quarterback from Texas Tech, newcomer of the week to the Big 12. Newcomer of the week to the Big 12. I saw an offensive line that couldn't sustain the blocking. I saw wide receivers that didn't catch the ball. Not great efforts. I didn't see any great efforts. You know, just like Texas did. What did they do? They hugged you, man, because they could man up in the secondary, and you didn't get the separation you needed. So I can go down the line this for everybody, and do this. There's nobody that I saw stand up and well, okay, maybe Dante Stills. Okay, maybe Jordan Jefferson, but he still got gashed for 590 yards. I mean, think about that. That's like 1,200 yards and almost 1,200 yards in 2 games. That's like 48 and 40. It's like 88 points in 2 games. No, that's not Mountaineer ball. And they all know it. You all know it. You all know it. So I think you need to hold each other accountable to each other. All right. So there you have it. So now what do? You got TCU coming in. TCU's coming in, and they're number 1 in the Big 12. I think they got the number 3 offense right now. I got to look at the stuff. It's still early in the week, but the scoring points are like 44 points a game. They're really good. Going to have to lay it all on the line. Hey, but here's the good news. You're home, right? You're home. So that's the good stuff. You're home. It's homecoming. Crazy things have happened. Go out there and fight. When you play hard and you play well, you hang. You compete. Go ahead and fight, man. This is a great opportunity. You go ahead and you win, and you go out there and you fight all the way. I never say a bad word about you. Not a bad word about you. But you're going to have to go out, and you're going to have to be blue collar, and you're going to have to work for it. Because what I saw Saturday wasn't the Mountaineer way. It was not. It was very discouraging to see a team that I did not recognize. Well, my friends, let's get ready. I'll be back with a pregame breakdown this week. We'll break it down just like we always do about the TCU Horned Frogs, see what the Mountaineers have to do to be victorious. And, of course, we'll have Mountaineer Legends pregame coming this week. You got some legends going up there, guys that are rooting for this team, rooting for these young brothers, rooting for these guys to be successful because we believe in you still. We still believe in you. No matter if you get smacked. Guess what? Coming on home, we'll give you a hug. Then we're going to tell you to get back out there and go get some more bloodied up. And that, my friends, is your WolfMan's call for the Texas Tech Red Raiders WVU football review. Thanks to Parmar Stores, because there's not a Parmar store near you now. There will be one soon. And to Arston Grange Company. Switch to have just the dead. Always, always, hail West Virginia. Always. Boom!